Okay folks, it's the next morning, bright and early. I'm back at it. Believe it or not, I had the gasket out of place on here and it leaked some gear oil out, so I took that back off, resealed it, got it back on, got that done. Just a little hold up. Something I didn't show you last night. You know, this cart was in the back of my shop, which is, you know, pretty far back there, and up against the wall, and evidently I had a snake crawl up in the back of it here, and my toolbox was sitting here, and I had the bottom drawer open, or the second drawer up open, with the hammers in it. And when I went out back to get the drum, find the drum, evidently he crawled from the cabinet into the toolbox. So when I got back here, you know, he was in the toolbox, which is not a big deal. Non-poisonous, no big deal. You know, I grew up around snakes my whole life, so they don't bother me. But the point is, you know, I had been walking through here. I'd been standing here cleaning on that rotor lathe, and if it had been a poisonous snake, being down in that drawer, it probably could have got me right on the ankle or the, you know, the calf. But you know, that's something to think about when you're messing with this old stuff. Probably smart to check it all over first. You know, I didn't think nothing about it, and I must have given him a ride from the, you know, in the back there, and which was probably a pretty rough ride. But you know, anytime you get birds and mice around, I actually got a bird nest in my shop too, so you know, you're gonna come up with snakes, but you know, not a big deal. But just, you know, keep an eye out, make sure, check everything. You know, a poisonous snake wouldn't have been a good thing. And I actually, when I was a kid, got myself in trouble. I had caught 3 little baby copperheads in a Burger King cup, and I didn't have a lid, so I had my hand over the top of it, and to get them home. And then I got in some trouble when I got home with them. But you know, like I said, we had snakes everywhere, so you know, it wasn't an uncommon thing to see a snake just about every day up in the holler in West Virginia. So, but at least in the summer and, you know, spring and fall, not winter, of course. But anyway, just, you know, be careful. I'm actually going to roll this out, take my forklift and pick that drum lathe up, because it's not light, and my back's too old for that. And then we're going to see if we can't get something done on this table. I started trying to clean it just a little bit. I wanted to see what it was going to do, but I don't know how it's going to work out. Probably not too well. I sort of hate to paint the deck of it, and for the pure fact that it's going to be the same color as the rotor lathe, and it might, you know, look kind of weird, but you know, whatever it takes, we're going to get it cleaned up and try to get all our stuff hung up on the front of it. That way it'll be portable and all be in one spot. But alright, I'll show you more. Okay folks, we've got our brake lathe off and working on getting it cleaned up. And you know, I was going to save that sticker. I actually went on eBay and went ahead and bought replacement sticker for it, and because I just kind of like it on there. But there was 2 of them for about, I think, $5 and some change, so I went ahead and bought them, and that way we can just go on over that. And because, as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and clean it off and paint it. You know, the paint was under the machines, but everywhere else it was about stripped off. So we're just going to do a quick paint job on it, nothing fancy, and get it stripped off here and sanded, and then I'll clean it up with some probably mineral spirits, and get all the oil and grease and stuff off, and then put some primer on it, and then maybe later on this evening or this afternoon it'll be dry enough we can get some paint on it. And I'm just going to keep at it. Alright folks, we've got this thing painted as good as it's going to get. Just stripped all the loose stuff off and sprayed it. And put a piece in the bottom here. It's not quite done, but it'll lay out. Okay, I got a tray that goes on here that collects all the shavings from the drum lathe, and we'll get it on there. We'll get it painted black, and then we'll get the drum lathe back on it and get the drawer pieces hanging up here where they belong. But I'll show you more. Okay folks, another project finished up, until we later on put our rotor lathe on there too. But I've got everything hanging up I need. I've got extra stuff. I need to make some more of the little hangers for it. But you know, we've got all our main stuff, everything to do the drums, and some of that's for the rotors, for the rotor lathe, and it was actually all mixed together when I got it. So you know, but I've got everything we need. And you know, this is not a restoration by any means. You know, this is something to preserve it, but mechanically to get it back into the condition, you know, it needs to be operational and work good. And you know, like I said, we're going to use this on the one-day rat rod build to do the drums. And so you know, if you watch the build, you'll probably see it. And you know, like I said, it's not a perfect job. It's, you know, it was a pretty quick job. I got my tray done. You know, I just cleaned it out the best I could and went ahead and put some paint on it. And you know, the paint's not perfect or anything. I mean, it don't look real bad, but you know, it was just a quick paint job. But you know, a paint job is all about how you prepare the surface. And you know, if the surface ain't nice and smooth, the paint job's not going to be nice and smooth. And you know, some of this is not great at all. You know, this board here, I cleaned it as good as I could, but you know, it's not perfect. I didn't take all the paint off of it like I did on the machine. Now I did take all the paint off the top of the table, but you know, it is what it is. It's a machine that I've got, you know, not much money in at all, and all I did was spend some time and buy a little bit of paint. And you know, that's definitely increased the value of the, you know, of the machine. And you know, not that it was worth much to start with, but I mean, it's worth a little bit now. I don't think it was worth really much more than scrap price when I started, because I mean, people just don't want these old ones anymore. But you know, someone would actually probably buy it now. And you know, it not necessarily raises the value, but it gives some value to it. And you know, it's an easy job, quick job. You know, just you know, takes time and a little bit of patience, and you know, getting everything figured out. And but we will maybe we'll do the rotor part later and get it on there. We don't need it for the build, so you know, we're not going to worry too much with it. I got lots of other stuff to do, and I'm waiting on my of course, I said I ordered my bear sticker. It goes right there in the center, and you know, it'll make it look that much better. And you know, I'm not going to try to pass it off as an original restoration or anything like that. I mean, this is just, I just happened to like that decal. I thought it was pretty neat, and it was worth the $5 to me to put it back on it. And I actually get two of them, so I'll probably put one on here, and then maybe one up there where I've been keeping a bunch of other emblems and stuff. I'll show you a couple of these while I'm here. Just some oddball ones here. Wizard. It's a Hercules wall vault. So this is for like a vault that went inside of your wall, a safe. Overhead door, 525 Holmes wrecker. Identification number for a homemade trailer. Automatic police alarm. Just odds and ends stuff. When I find them, that's where they go. Alright, well, appreciate everybody watching. I'm waiting on my foam there. That's about an inch thick, but it's kind of curled up where it was rolled up, so waiting on it to come down. And I didn't paint anything inside. I cleaned all the flaking paint off of it. And you know, it'll be fine. I can store some stuff in here too. Something besides a snake anyway. Alright, appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, bye.